Yeah, cringe, right? And in college, I was quiet, shy, depressed. Still got numbers, but in an awkward way. I was like, hey, Naomi, philosophy was great. Do you mind if I get your number? Right? And now I'm like, yo, Naomi, you owe me your number. And then they laugh. They go, wow, this guy's so cool. But yeah, I used to be a fucking loser. That's the only girl I could think of. I think I picked up one girl in all of college. I was proud of that. No, it's not the Naomi you guys know, but yeah, I was very like, yeah. Nobody believes it. They're like, you were a gamer to relate to us, right? No, if I want to relate to you guys, I'll talk about gaming, but gaming is cringe. No, I was a gamer. I was like you. I was anime, video games. Classes I took: philosophy, physiology, and anthropology. Believe it or not, first year, which is like, think about it, learning about Lucy, learning about physiology was fun, and then what was the other one? Philosophy was mind blowing. Right, we started with Kant. Yeah, I like philosophy. I was like, oh, I got to look into this on my own time too. Then I dropped out and got very depressed, and I used to get anxiety attacks. Not anxiety attacks like how people have them, but my stomach would turn and I'd feel like puking all the time. Every time my boss called, hey, we need to move more boxes. Hey, I know you don't have your forklift license, but you got a forklift. You got to learn a forklift. And I worked in a warehouse and never wanted to kill myself, but if a bus hit me, I would welcome it. I'd be like, okay. Worst time of my life was like 20 years old. Then my best friend reached out at the gym and he's like, hey man, you should do security. You know, you've been pumping some iron. You're getting thicker. You're working warehouse. You're working construction. You're getting more meaty. I'm like, I can't really fight. He's like, oh, don't worry, bro. It's not that bad. And then the first night wasn't that bad. Then the second night was terrifying, and I literally quit the job. I didn't tell anyone. I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm traumatized. Those are big dudes all throwing fists. They don't even push each other like in high school, how people push each other. They're just fucking just going crazy. And I'm like, I can't. Because I would be hesitating. Like when I first froze in my first altercation, group on group, I felt like such a pussy. I'm like, did anyone see me freeze? And I'm like, I'm not going back to the club. I'm not going back to the club. And then I went back and it was relatively calm for a while. And then I said, and then that's when one of my buddies turned to me and he's like, Zherka's the last one in it. Were you even in it? And I felt this shame where the crush in the club, all the girls who are counting the money in the basement after the end of the night, they all put their heads up like Zherka's the only coward here. And he's a big boy. Why is he a coward? And I felt this wash of, I just got washed in shame, like in front of Cole and everyone. And then I couldn't sleep. I was like, I am the coward. Like if I was a shinobi, I'd be the coward, right? And then the next altercation that happened, I said, even if I die, go run into the group and punch the first guy you see. And I did just that. That was the first time I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is in here, bro? I thought I'm just a gym bro. I fucking think I went that way, right? Because I ran into it. I was like, that was crazy. And then when the fight got broken up, everyone's like, yo, Zherka's the man, bro. Zherka's. But really, if the fight went longer, he would have killed me. You know what I mean? He would have killed my ass. But it got broken up. I was like, oh, thank God. And then I got fucked up. Yeah, a lot of weird shit, right? But it was never one on ones. It was always altercations, stuff like that. Then when I only had my ex, and when my ex and I were broken up, that's when. Oh, I appreciate you, Lord. I appreciate you so much. I want to suck your little pee. Yeah, when I broke up with my ex, and that's like the only person I stayed with, I got very into drinking to cope. It was very weird, and not alone, but I would always go to this trap house to drink, 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 and then I'd always go to work hungover. And you know, alcohol, whether hungover or still buzzing, you are aggressive. And yeah, I became like this fucking super aggressive person, like super, yeah. And then that's when I first had my first real hand to hand exchange. And I was like, hey, I'm not bad at that. And then Aura nightclub, I learned a lot more. Tight corridors, right? Weird wrestling matches and stuff like that. And I learned to breathe better, control my anxiety. And then after a few years, it became second nature. I knew I'm like, we're not getting in trouble unless it's an event. If it's a Halloween, it's a New Year's. I always knew when the trouble was coming. I knew when people do the most drugs, blah, blah, blah. It was a fight night, UFC fight night. Everyone gets weird. And then I said to myself, the best defense is a good offense. And I know people get stabbed with yelling in the face and going full offensive and hitting first. But I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to be known for this. And I cheated. I cheated so hard because, like when you start using alcohol, pills and stuff like that, you start to become like this fearless weirdo. Like, you know what I mean? It was like cheating. Like my brain was always looped up and, I looked clear. I looked normal. I was sounding normal, but really I was like, if I get fucked up, I'm going to pop some Percocets. I'm going to pop some Percocets and maybe have a Xan or blah, blah, blah. And I would use like little tools. And then I never really got to use the tools because I'm like, if I hit hard. I'm not a fucking slow 260. But back then I was like 245. I was fast. And then, I started cracking hard. And then fuck Monkey in the Discord. Monkey, are you in chat? Don't ever post that bloody shit in my fucking Discord you did a month ago. Because let me tell you something.